Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When you tune in there, make sure you share this live. That's what I'm doing. I just need about 15 more seconds to do that. This is a really sad day in Bahamian history. A really sad day. Um, and I know this is a pop up live, and some people are out there doing their Monday night football and that kind of stuff. But this is important. Um, this is important. Wow. Share the live. You know what to do. Do your at highlight at followers. Um, Tag some people in here. Make sure they get in here and they know that we are live. Because this is a sad day in our country. It's like we are in serious darkness. Serious darkness. Um, I think all of you see the caption of this video. I think all of you see it. This is this is something else. Just waiting a couple seconds for more people to come in here. We're broadcasting on Facebook, on YouTube, LinkedIn, uh, Instagram, etc. So get in here and make sure you're watching this from wherever you watch this live from. You're gonna see why I seem to be so perturbed right now, because it's like the country keeps getting worse and worse. And the incident happened today, a serious incident happened today, reportedly, and it didn't even make the news. They are trying to keep it hush hush, they're trying to keep it quiet, but that's not going to happen on my watch. All right, we have to stand up for what is right in this country. Um, just trying to pull up this document and then we'll get started. All right. My God, everyone, make sure you're sitting down for this. I don't want to be responsible for whatever happens to you, but this administration is is sick. Um, all right, all of you know of the allegations that happened soon after this administration got in. You know, all of them feel like they're kings and queens and they're gods, and the people are nothing. And so, one of the complaints that went forward um, was that it was alleged that Jobeth Coleby Davis had knocked down a police officer, and that was egregious when people heard about that. But it seemed to be being swept under the rug. They said they did an investigation. Uh, that's that's what they said. But again, we we don't know what happened. There was all kind of stuff floating out there. Um, they were alleging that the guy got paid some money to let it go, etc. I'm told he didn't accept nothing from nobody. But it seemed like ever since then, a lot of pressure was coming down on him. They were like trying to get rid of him. They were trying to silence him because um, that's what they do. And so um, we heard nothing again from it. We don't know what went down. And just like the matter with Kirk Cornish, the matter just took long to get anywhere, etc. and no one ever exposed the name of the police officer involved. It's like they were trying to cover up everything. Not even the media really exposed who was the police officer involved. But we're gonna tell you who he is tonight, and that's because right now he's in critical condition in doctor's hospital. I'm told. Um, I'm told he's in doctor's hospital in critical condition. All right, I'm gonna read the report, and we need to pray for that young man. We need to put politics aside, and we need to pray for him because I was a police officer and I know the pressure that he is going through. And so what happened is that they started putting a lot of pressure on him. They started attacking him. He started feeling like he was being victimized. Um, and and on what seems to be in this report, on the 3rd of December, on the 3rd of December, 2023, um, they arrested him. It says the crew of such and such, Inspector R. Roxbury, contacted PCR and reported arresting Corporal 3291 Burrows, care of RTCC, reference to possession of dangerous drugs while in the area of Queens College on Village Road. Corporal Burrows was transported to Western Police Station for safekeeping and further investigations. All right. Um, so what this is saying, this report is saying, is that he was Corporal Burrows, who is reportedly the officer who made those allegations, was arrested for drugs. They're saying they found drugs in his car. Now, let me tell you why this don't really add up. Because normally, if there's a roadblock, why would they search his car in the first place by the school? Why would they search his car? And normally, if police see another police, they'll wave them through. Say, "Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you," and wave them through. Why would they search his car, and why would they find drugs in his car? And that's why I told you all before. They're trying every plot to try to get something on me and set me up. If you see them say drugs in the car, don't believe that foolishness. That's the oldest trick in the book. All right. I don't believe when I hear those kinds of stories. And so it's very suspicious that this guy made a complaint against a very connected member of parliament. I'm just saying it's suspicious. And all of a sudden, they locked him up. Did anyone hear about this in the media? That's the first question. Did anyone hear about this in the media? All right. So let me know if you did, because I didn't. I might have missed something. Let me know if any of you heard about that in the media. All right. Um, I didn't hear about a police officer being arrested um, on 3/12/23, 3/12/23 by Inspector R. Roxbury. I didn't hear about that. And so I didn't hear about that. Yeah. So yeah. So why wouldn't we hear about that? Was that being kept hush hush to just have something, uh, to just have something on the young man to now be able to use against him. Is I'm just asking questions. And so I'm going to pull up another document because, okay, he was arrested. Now, today, this morning, just after 6 a.m., he was found hanging in his room in his house. His family saved him, held him, and tried to get him down. And they called for the ambulance. And now he's in critical condition in doctor's hospital. The officer who made an allegation against a member of parliament. And so I watched the news all day. Did any of you hear about that? Well, okay, here's the document. I can't believe what's going on in this country. Here's the document. Sorry, pull up the wrong thing. Here's the document. Made it big so you could see it. Attempted suicide report. All right. Because on Monday, the 4th November, and this is, I could read this because it's just a general report. It's a crime report. I don't see what the problem is with the public knowing this. This is the same thing that they would have read to us or should have. On Monday, the 4th November, 2024, at 6:57 a.m., a caller contacted PCR and so I'm gonna make my screen bigger, and reported that an adult male attempted to commit suicide by hanging himself and his family members cut him down. Information received is that the male is Corporal 3291 Daniel Burrows. The crew of E19 PCS, they have their names, were dispatched. The crew of E19, that's Echo 19, reported that they arrived on scene and saw and spoke with Darlene Burrows, um, and stated that her brother came to her and requested to borrow a travel bag. He told her that he was going to Andres for 5 days. She told him no, and he replied that this is the last time that they would see him. He told her he loved her, and he went into his bedroom with an orange electrical extension cord, locking the door behind him. Sometime after, she heard noises coming from the room. She alerted their brother, Devon Burrows, and to check on Daniel. He tried the door, and after finding it locked, he exited the house and proceeded to an eastern uh, bedroom window through. I'm sorry, can't see the rest of it. Let me just get it pulled up just so I could read the rest of it. It's too small. Through that window, he was able to see Daniel hanging from an orange cord attached to a pole in the closet. He re entered the residence, kicked the room door in, and cut his brother down. He and a neighbor, Troy, transported Corporal Burrows to Doctor's Hospital. That's a report from ASPS Gardner, the duty officer. All right, the duty officer. And so They're saying that this man was put under so much pressure and victimization reportedly that he couldn't take it anymore. You see, when you stand up to evil in this country, they try to destroy you. First, they try to discredit you. They make up all manner of things against you. And when that ain't enough to break you, they bring pressure down from every direction. They'll destroy your business. They'll make sure you can't get no jobs, no contract. Your family can't get no jobs, no contract. This is still going on in 2024 in this country. There are a lot of police officers who are upset over this. A lot. The gentleman is in doctor's hospital in critical condition, I'm told. All he was doing was his job. All he was doing was his job. And a member of parliament allegedly thinking she's God. And to some people, this is acceptable. They could do another 50 years of this. I can't. They've silenced the media. You can't get the truth out of the media. I'm seeing media muting their mics when talking to the police on a scene, on a murder scene, muting their mics. How is it? How is it that the police officer who was allegedly knocked down by a member of parliament was found hanging or attempted to kill himself, we assume, and this ain't make the news? When they have attempted suicides, you hear about that immediately. How much attempted suicides we've been hearing? But how could we get to this point where this young man feels the need to do this to himself? Someone in this decrepit, evil, wicked government needs to answer. There's a paid political troll with contracts, allegedly from Jobeth Coleby on this live. Get off my live. He said the man lied about getting hit, but the drugs was real. They found on him. They didn't find drugs, and they say they allegedly found drugs in his car. This boy was clean or his whole career. Clean. Never get no problems, no trouble. Clean his whole career. And all of a sudden, they find drugs on him. From a police doing a roadblock, and they stop you, and they see, oh, that's a police. They say, hey, what's up, bro? They wave you through. They say, hey, that's a police. Come, pull him over. Come on, this car. I've never experienced that. I was a police. I've never seen that. Now, if they received some report that there was drugs in his house and they went and searched his house and found drugs, yeah, that's a different story. But routine stop. Hey, officer, corporal, come out this car, corporal. We need to search your car. I can't say what happened or didn't happen. What I'm saying is, to me, it don't add up. All right? And so Is that political troll? Like I said, not today. A man is in critical condition. And I know um, your contracts is important to you, but our democracy is important to us. Now, if this sounds right to any of you, then so be it. I ain't in that. But again, for anyone who's just joining us, the police officer who was allegedly knocked down by Jobeth Coleby Davis, not only did that drag on and it seemed like, all kind of influence, that's how it seemed to a lot of people because it was taking so long. He was arrested on 3/12, 2023. I assume that's the date, allegedly, based on the documents we have here. And he was arrested for drugs in his car, saying he had drugs in his car. Come on, man. Come on. I'm not saying whether he did or not, but see, this is why we have to put things through the proper process so that we could avoid these kinds of accusations. If she knocked the man down, let her go through the process, man, or tell the man sorry, or pay for his injury. Get it over with. And then, after being arrested, and none of us heard about this arrest, which makes it suspicious. None of us heard of this arrest. Y'all Google quick and see if anyone could find this arrest. Google quick. See if you can find this arrest of Corporal Burrows. See if you could find it anywhere. I don't see it. No one in the media. Anyone in the media watching this? Can y'all say if this was reported to y'all? Let's see if the media is going to cover this tomorrow because they didn't cover it today. And so, based on what we see in this report, today's date, 6 o'clock in the morning, this happened. I'm going to share this document on social media. You mean to tell me they oppressed this man so much that he was just tired of living? You see, a lot of people don't understand the pressure that some police officers go through, and they wonder why I always defend the regular ranks of the force, and I always say you deal with the leadership, because that's where the corruption comes down from. The politicians put their corrupt officers in place, and then those corrupt officers give instructions that these guys got to follow because they need a job. They need their job. They got a mortgage. They got a child in college, or they in college, and they just do what they're told because they have to, even if they don't like it. And if they don't do what they're told, or if they touch the wrong person, then they're victimized. And everyone can't take it. We need to pray for this young man. The suffering in this country is beyond belief. It's beyond belief. I was told about persons who were in social services today who were again victimized. They had a protest today. I didn't know about it. Otherwise, I would have been there. I was supposed to be at the taxi drivers today to help them with their situation, and then a lot of stuff came up today. I had one of those days. And by the time as I heard about that, it was over. But there's more Bahamians being victimized under this administration. SIB showed up. SIB. The same officers who don't deal with everyday policing, who's supposed to be investigating the Michael Johnson matter, showed up to social services because people was there protesting. SIB. And SIB told them, go outside, go out the gate. SIB. Now, SIB is under the control basically of the politician. So that means some politician sent SIB there. SIB don't deal with everyday policing. They don't deal with complaints and those kind of stuff. That's the bodyguards for the politicians. Came to social services, and I want to thank everyone who came out there today to stand up for those people. Thank all of y'all for that. The SIB came and put those words on. Let me tell you what would have happened if I was there. If someone had called me or said something to me. Yeah, what happened? I would have told those police officers, y'all don't have a court order, get out this yard. That's what I would have done. I would have told them, you don't have a court order. Get out. Now, that's just more Bahamians being victimized. All around, Bahamians are experiencing this. A young police officer has so much pressure has been put on him. And I could tell you, I experienced that when I was on the police force. I experienced that personally. I don't drag this out by telling you my own personal stories. But many police officers know. Everything is good until you touch someone connected to someone, then you get that call or that instruction. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me. You know what I always do when I'm on these lives? I open up the phone lines. Y'all call me and tell me what y'all, the general public, tell me what y'all think. 803-5995, WhatsApp or regular call. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. All right? WhatsApp or regular call. Tell me how you feel about this, what's going on right here. All right? The report that I just showed you, showing that from this morning, and no media cover it, and maybe the media didn't get it, but that means the police was covering this up. And if the police covering stuff up, oh Jesus, it wouldn't be nothing new, eh? I don't know what that is. Oh, SIB came to them. They asked me questions in there. SIB came to, that's the Security Intelligence Branch, came to Social Services. But I'm opening the phone lines, 803-5995. What you think about all of this? This is a pop-up. This isn't something I was gonna do today. But you know, police officers are alarmed by this and by these allegations. And they felt that this should be addressed. All right. So we get to the bottom of it. We need to know, one, we need to know from the National Security Minister, was that young man arrested? Why didn't the public hear about it if he was arrested? And we need to know what has been happening to this young man since then. Has he been victimized? Because this young man is reportedly on his deathbed. He's in critical condition. And we got to pray for him. 803-5995. Come, y'all call me. Call me. 803-5995. Why is this woman mixed up? Let me answer the phone. You're live. Go ahead.
Hello?
Good evening. You're live.
Can't hear you.
Good evening. You're live.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Moore?
I'm awesome.
Oh man, this is shocking.
Yeah. It's like, what next under this government, man?
Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know. So you said to look up to see if he was he arrested? He was arrested. I think they reported it in December. He was. I think the bail was $4,000. It was only after he denied that the drugs belonged to him. So he denied that they were his.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which would make it look like a setup.
Mm.
So this would be probably after he reported the incident that the minister allegedly hit him with the vehicle, which is Jobeth Coleby. So then I guess they say they found in this car after the drugs in his car, but he denied that.
Wow.
And then now all of a sudden, sometime later on, now he attempted to take his life. And what I don't get is how the people don't know if the police were there or the police responded to it. If they did, then it would be strange to say that. I don't understand how the media don't know about it, because if they would say this or if they would actually make this known to the public, then persons would automatically draw the conclusion that he's being victimized. So this is possibly deliberate, that they did not say it to the public, because they would automatically indicate her. Should be automatically indicated, or anything related to her would be back in the spin.
Wow.
Right? Because it would look like he's under stress, and possibly he want to take his life because he's being victimized after he reported her. So that's why I believe they didn't say it, if they in fact know about it. Because people do suicide all the time. The little boy who they found hanging, possibly they say it was a suicide. That was breaking news. That was breaking news. Thousands of people was on the live when they was reporting that the little boy being hanged. I think it was the 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So how is it this isn't a story? Because it would indicate possible victimization. That's just my thoughts.
Wow.
All right.
So, all right, thank you. Y'all tag all of the news media. Y'all tag all of them. Make sure that they are here. Make sure that everyone in the news media knows what's going on. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You live. I am perturbed, man.
Yeah,
I fed
while
up.
you're on this topic, did you heard anything on the news about man that got murdered in Ilucho on Friday?
No, I'm hearing that there was a Leslie some murder and we didn't hear about it.
Okay.
I don't know the details. I haven't had time to look into it.
Okay, I sent the information to you, so you can take a look at it. There's a gentleman by the name of Ali, but you can look further.
I'll look for it.
Okay, well, I sent it directly to you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be in Abaco on Saturday, and so that's the 9th. We're going to be launching our Abaco candidates, some more, a whole island full of victims of the government. Abaco, Marsh Harbor. We're going to be at the Marsh Harbor Library on November 9th at 6 p.m. All right? And we're launching our candidates from there. And we're going to speak to you about Abaco and the country. And we're going to let you know who your candidates are, who are going to take this government from these evil people. If every part of this pans out, that's too much, man. That's too much. That's just too many coincidences. That's too many coincidences. No, you can't. You know what it reminds me of? You ever watched that movie or series, Murder, She Wrote? Anyone ever watched that? Murder, She Wrote, where is this woman, she was a writer, and she would, come and be where a lot of other people was, and then there would be a murder, and then she would be the one to solve the murder. She was smart, and so she would be the one to solve the murder. Anyone ever watch that? But after a while, people started to say, like, hold on now. How is it that everywhere you go, there's a murder? How come all these murders following you, ma'am? Maybe you are the murderer and you pinning it on everybody else. How is it that all around a particular MP, there's all kinds of stuff going on? How is that? Think about that. How is it a particular MP, all these stuff keep following? Come on. Come on. Come on. All right? How is it that is in this situation with this young man who all he wanted to do was his job? All he wanted to do was his job. Good evening, your life.
Hi, good night, Mr. Bean. How are you, man?
I'm awesome, man. How you doing?
I'm great. Good night to your guests and your audience. I think this is time, Mr. President, for the other police officers to stand up for their fellow officer. We need some cops of police to now become the whistleblowers and to expose the corruption that they know they are under. Because if they don't stand up for their fellow colleague, it is also going to come to their doorstep sooner or later. And so I know we have the tendency to only stand up when something hits us. But the same victimization they can do to this colleague of yours, I'm speaking to the police officers at this time, the same victimization they can give to this colleague, they will do the very same thing to you or worse. So as police officers, you need to pull together, you need to stand up, defend, and protect one another. I believe that is your motto, to stand up, to protect, and to defend your colleague. It should not just be physically you doing this. You ought to also do this when you see they are being victimized by even one of your very own, because it could be you tomorrow. So I just want to send that caution out to other police officers. They know of the corruption that is going on the force. They know of the victimization that is taking place, but a lot of them are keeping their mouth shut. And so we need to hear from you. The only way we as the public can defend you if you would speak up. If you would speak up and speak out, then you would have people like Lincoln Bain and the Coalition of Independents coming to your rescue and standing with you in the battle. But we cannot stand with you, police officers, if you continue to remain silent.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you, man, for bringing this attention to the public. Because, like you say, the mainstream media, they are all in the back pocket of the government. We know that. Government pays their salaries, so they have to follow the dictatorship of this government that we are under.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
All right, man.
To the public.
Call you live. Go ahead.
Hey, good night, Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. President, I'm observing this deceitful, wicked administration, the PLP, right? From they came into power, it's obvious now that the media is being manipulated or controlled or buyed by this government, because there's lots of things, if you listen to these shows, these radio stations, happens in this country, and nothing, they report absolutely nothing. So I'm not really surprised, right? Because this witchcraft government is showing the Yemen people that, like, hey, y'all don't matter to us. What we want to do is that's what the Deputy Prime Minister said. What we want to do is what we can do, right? So at the end of the day, the Yemen people, we all can see that our country is going down a very we are going down the slippery slope fast. And if we, the people, don't stand up and fight this evil, it's going to consume the whole entire existence of Bahamians and this country. So we have to support the COI because the COI is the only future with this country. We don't have no future as a country if it isn't coming through the COI. Mr. Bain, I want to tell you, sir, continue doing exactly what you're doing because you was called for this time and this time alone.
A police officer and his family were charged.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
All right. Good night. Oh, Jesus. All right. So let me just pull up a story that they had in December about this matter. So I'll pull up the Guardian for you. You just pull up the Guardian story. Let me just take a call while we look at this. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good night, Binky. How you doing, man?
I'm alive now.
Yeah. Good to hear that. Man, I was watching you was speaking on something about there's an inspector on Roxbury or something like that.
Yeah.
Man, if he lived right down from me, you know. He lived right a couple houses down from me, right? I don't know, because he opened up a funeral home. I mean, a home like that. He buy a house and a couple SUVs. I don't know if that's the same place we're talking about, but if this is the same place,
Go ahead.
If this is the same place we're talking about, let me tell you something. He been in a lot of situations whereby he have a lot of enemies. He have a lot of enemies because even I have a house where I pay mortgage for, right? And at one point, his mother was renting for me, like in my house where I live. Because me and my wife did break up. I split my house where I could just live in one of the rooms and rent out the two bedrooms with a bathroom in the front room. I rented out and I just living in one little piece, because I ain't got the job right now. So that's what happened, right? So his mother ended up renting the 2 bedroom from me, and she gave me a raw deal. So like she stopped paying her rent. Minutes was in. She stopped paying her rent when Minutes was in because Minutes was saying the landlord should be lenient on the tenants in that time, and so she take that must be wrong and stop paying me. So I had to call the police to get out of my house because she stopped paying for like 3 months. She didn't want to pay. So the police come and tell her, say if she don't pay me rent, she have to leave. And then he just get, like this happened in probably 2023, right? And he just get promoted into an inspector, young guy, just getting promoted into inspector, going into brown khaki. And so when I tell her she have to leave, and she was leaving my place, but she was disgruntled leaving, and so she ended up calling him. They sent his little brother around here to harass me, want to fight me, threaten me, that he can kill me, shoot me. But I talking to his mother like this, like that.
You can't. Did you press charges against him?
Okay, watch what happened. He ended up sending some CDU fellas around by me, right? And locked me up for 4 days, and one of them days was in a holiday. For 4 days, I was locked up in a Nassau Street station for nothing because I asked him whether the lady here showing off himself because he just turned inspector, so he locked up for 4 days. And then my sister, who know a lot of officers, she ended up calling one of the chief in CDU or whatever, or who used to be or the boss. And while I was in there for 4 days, that's when she talked to one of the chief. And then he called the station while I was in the cell because I could hear her. My sister voice up to the front desk while I was locked up in the cell. And what happened is that then she started talking to the office because she bring me one blanket and a pillow. So they tell us, she can't break, I can't accept, I can't get no pill or she me up. So she make a phone call to one of their boss, and then I can hear off say, yes sir, okay sir, yes sir, yes sir. And next you know, I know the pillar come to me in the bag there. So then people try to ask me who the hell I is because you nobody's get no pill and no set, right? So when he realized he boss call him and once he talked to him after why I lock up in that cell for 4 days without being charged with anything or whatever. You know, he gets so scared. He walk himself in the back there by the cell where I was and start apologizing to me and telling me, say, it ain't him, it's his mother, this and that. But it was him because he was showing off his power because he just get it. And so what happened, I didn't bother him. So what he did, he still charged me. He charged me because he gonna come around, but they stayed threatening me, say, you can kill me, you can shoot me, any place you can me, this what you can do to me, right? And so he started like walking up I parked my back trunk and I gone close to my back trunk. I had a cutlass in the back, but I ain't take it out.
Don't say nothing no again. Incriminate yourself and don't say any allegations against them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he just came.
Just leave that right there.
So yeah, okay. And then so what his mother did, I think the officer, the state inspector, what he did, he must advise his mother to go to the courts and sue me. First, I don't know what he said.
So is it still in the court?
Yes.
All right, well then leave it there. You know.
The court had finished because Maria Dodson, she didn't represent me late. She ended up taking the case after over. And all the witnesses that come and gone and whatever. Then she ended up coming in and trying to help me out. But what happened is that only thing happened now, I get to pay this woman $3,500 for nothing I don't even know about. The woman didn't pay me my rent, and she admitted to the judge she wasn't paying, but because the judge realized that her son is an inspector, all of a sudden she gave me all the wrong.
Wow. Yeah. Again, I can't, confirm or deny anything you said or any allegations you made, so I have to separate myself from them. But a lot of Bahamians are suffering under the hands of certain people in this country. I'm sorry, you had to allegedly go through that, my brother. All right, let me take another call.
For Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt with possession of dangerous.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to pull up, and again, like I said, that's allegations made against Roxbury. I don't know anything about Roxbury, and so that's his experience. All right, so he should leave that right there. All right, so I just wanted to show you. This is the Guardian report. This is the Guardian report. Police officer charged with drug possession. This is in December 2023. And so here it says a police officer was on Tuesday granted $4,000 bail after he denied a drug charge. Corporal Daniel Burrows was arrested on December 2nd after police officers allegedly found 4 packages of marijuana totaling 3.78 ounces inside his car. So Burrows pleaded not guilty to a charge of drug possession with intent to supply at his arraignment before Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. As a condition of his bail, he has to sign in at East Street Police Station on Wednesdays until his trial is completed. Burrows' trial is set to begin March 5th, 2024. He's been suspended from duty. This is the part. He's been suspended from duty and placed on half pay until the matter is completed. He's been suspended. So now they had a reason to suspend him and take half of his pay. Half of his pay. But no word on here about him being that officer. And so If that is the case, why? So there's also a report. I didn't get to pull up the video,
A police
so
officer and his family were
I'm
charged.
gonna pull it up right
A
now.
police officer and his family were charged today before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt with possession of dangerous drugs. Police officer 27-year-old Hugh Edison Minnis Jr. in the white T-shirt was charged with 2
Oh, that's
counts
the
of
wrong
possession
one.
of
I'm sorry
marijuana
about that.
with the intent to supply. It is alleged that on January
Sorry, that's the wrong one. We just Googled it, and that's
27th of
a
2020.
different story came up. So I'm sorry about that. All right, and so yeah, so sorry about that. But the Guardian did cover the story, um, and there's nothing in that story about the fact that the guy was, and so we in some serious trouble in this country. We in serious trouble. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I don't want to do a long live tonight. I wanted to bring that to your attention. And if you know anyone in the media, just call them. Make sure they know what's going on. Share that with them. Share this live with them. And if you get the report, share that report with them so that they know exactly what's going on. All right. So first, he was arrested. He was put under a lot of pressure. He was, suspended, and then now he almost hung himself. Went from a good police officer to all of that. We'll have more conversations on this. And for every police officer who's going through this, our prayers are with you. Our prayers are with Daniel Burrows. Our prayers are with you. It's amazing how, based on people's political slant, is what side they take. Let's put politics aside on this. A young man is in critical condition, reportedly, and this shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I remember there was a police staff association chief who was fighting for police officers to get their overtime pay, and he was fighting the government, fighting them down. All of a sudden, some charges was levied against him out of nowhere. Some apparently trumped up charges, and once they got their way, the charges was dropped, and he's still a police officer today. I wish I could say more about that, but it was clear corruption involved in that. Clear corruption. I'll talk about that some more later. But this is what they do. They try to discredit you. They bring something up against you, and some people will believe it. Mostly people who support the party will believe it just because their party is pushing this. And they'll let them destroy a Bahamian young man or woman for this. There's another police officer who 2 years ago was injured, and right now he's still in the United States of America. 2 years ago he was injured and still in the United States of America. His case went nowhere because the person who they believe did the injury to him was related to a current minister, uh, current MP, and a former MP. And he too was in critical condition. There wasn't no suicide there. And yeah, they tried to say he jumped out of the car window, moving car. But the blows he had on his body was it's clearly not the blows of falling out of a moving car. And he had to have lots of surgery, still doing surgeries. That's from 2022, I think. It's 2024. We have to take power from these corrupt people and give it to the people. It's the only way there's going to be justice. We're going to take power from the politician and give it back to you. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's pray for that officer. I don't know if he's conscious, but let's pray for him. And let's pray for all of us Bahamians. We're suffering through the dark ages. Pray for all of us who are standing up and fighting. They're going to come at us the same way. Pray for us and pray for yourselves. Good night.